How much does YouTube pay for 500 videos? I'm Brian. Welcome to My Tesla Weekend. Yeah, it's the 500th video extravaganza. You're all here for the celebration. All 14 of you. That's what happens when I put these on the second channel, where I have fewer subscribers. Who knows, I might condense a version for the main channel if the information turns out to be good. So 500 videos. Yeah, it's been 22 months I've been doing this. Several a week, often Patreon exclusives. So this includes the first channel, the main channel, My Tesla Weekend, the second channel, My Tesla Live, and the Patreon exclusives as well. So let's just let's take a look, shall we? Let's start with My Tesla Weekend. This is just the one channel. 2 million views, $11,000. Not too bad, I guess. And what's interesting is I gave myself 9 or 10 weeks. I think 10 weeks is what I gave myself to monetize. Because I've had other channels before that I thought were a great idea or clever or whatever, and they just didn't pencil out. They just didn't get traction because it's very difficult for YouTube to decide to show you a channel that is new, that is small. It's a death spiral. It's a catch-22. So I said, you know, it's a job. I had some cushion. I had some flexibility. I had some room to grow. And it was dying. Let's look at the subscriber count. You have to have 1,000 to monetize. And then all of a sudden, here in December, something happened. And what happened was Dylan from Electrified decided to show my video. He saved me. He made the channel. He pushed it over the cliff because it was taking so gosh darn long. And so, Dylan, my brother, if you're watching this, thank you so much. I don't know if the channel would have survived. So that was really something. Thank you for that. And along the way, there were a couple other catalysts. Sometimes I would get featured in, you know, one of the publications, one of the, like Electrified, or I don't remember who else. Maybe Electric would show one of my videos and give me some props, and that would give me a little bump. And then out here, I don't even remember what that was. 982. Ooh, that might have been, I think that's when Lars from Best in Tesla showed one of the videos. I don't recall. I think it's that. It was a big deal. So 2 million views, and if you look at the monetization, you can see dead flat, finally turns on. And that, 18 bucks a day, 15 bucks a day, all that. And I'm going to move the microphone down a little bit. And it helped. And then you see these very exciting days where you're like, oh my gosh, come on, $173 on December 1st. Oh, you start to think this might happen. But YouTube is treacherous. And then you get down here and you've got, even in this June, you've got a 67 penny day. Boy, that makes it tough. 48 pennies for the whole day on June 8th. That makes it real hard. And the trick with YouTube is they decide how many views you get. They decide how many people see your thumbnail. They decide how many views you get. And then they decide which ads show. So they decide how much traffic you get and how much money you make. And big channels get better ads than small channels. And my payout per ad is well above average, but it's not on par with the bigger channels. So let's look at the second channel, because remember, this is just one channel. And we've got, let's look at the views. Pretty slow start. But this is started in February, the second channel. And this is the live channel. It's the one you're on right now. And it's, I'll explain why in a minute. But you can see it, the views climb. And then starting around June of this year, the numbers have been a lot better. But the revenue is where you get really kicked in the knackers because it took 14 weeks. 14 weeks from February to mid-June to monetize. And even then, this good day here, this was a celebration of the first live stream that could get super chats. So this whole time, months of doing 90 minutes a week live, there was just nothing you could do. There was no way to, you could sign up on Patreon, but some folks just don't do that. And I can understand. But not even ad revenue, nothing. YouTube famously, look at that, 23 pennies, 99 pennies. It's so brutal. 12 cents. August 15th, the second channel made 12 pennies. And it's brutal because, again, YouTube decides how many people see it. And a lot of people don't see it. I still get comments to this day of people who have just discovered the channel. And they're like, I follow everything Tesla, and somehow I did not see this before. 363.23. Oof. But again, that's just the second channel. And why did I make the second channel? Because a lot of people who subscribed to see my analysis or my construction videos or my math weren't feeling the vibe of the live thing. They wanted something a little tighter, a little more condensed, a little more data rich. So when I would do the podcast with Bear's Workshop, I would lose subscribers. Sometimes I'd lose 10, 15 subscribers. And that's moving in the wrong direction. But people enjoy them. We get regular viewers on them who enjoy them, and we enjoy doing them. And it also forces us to do more research and think about things in ways we might not otherwise do. So I broke them in half. And I think that was a good move. So what about Patreon? Well, the first real month of any money was January of 21, 56 bucks, 200, 200, 400, climbing, 500-ish. October of 21, December, 1,500 bucks. But a lot of that was people signing up for a full year. And that was when I first unveiled the 11-year production prediction tracker. And that had a lot of excitement around it. So let's just look at the chart. 50 bucks, 200, 400, boom, 1,500. Moving in the right direction. And then, a lot of those did not renew are still prepaid for the year. They're not going to repay. So it fluctuates. But when I say I can't do it without my patrons, I am not joking, because I've had some months on YouTube where I make $200 or $300 despite making just as much content as I always do. Anybody want to see some charts? Here's some interesting stuff. YouTube main, how much was it? 11 something. The second channel, 326, and then Patreon, 12 grand. Thank you guys so much. For a total of 23,723, comes out to about $1,000 a month. That's close to minimum wage for the federal minimum wage. My state, it's about half of minimum wage. It hurts, but I don't blame you guys. You guys are here. I blame YouTube. They got to show it. So divide that by 500. What is my YouTube revenue? $22 an episode. Add in the Patreon, 47 bucks. That's a little bit more reasonable. If I can make a video in under 5 hours, I'm not losing too much money, but it hurts. And make no mistake, I am not asking for more money. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for more subscribers. So, 18,000 subscribers, that comes out to revenue of $1.31 per subscriber. That's interesting. That's interesting. But really what I need, because, you guys are extremely generous. Like it catches me off guard how nice you guys are, how giving and caring and generous you are. I'm not asking you for more money. I'm asking you for more subscribers, because I have some stuff in the works, and I've got some money left over. The whole thing was able to start because I had a little bit of money left over, and as time has gone by, this amount of money has kept prolonging the life of the channel, and there is a very high probability that that money will be less of an issue soon. I don't want to go into detail, but it should be less of an issue soon. And mind you, all these numbers don't include my expenses. So I didn't include in this any merch, because I've probably only made 10 or 20 bucks on merch. I have gotten a few donations through PayPal. That's not included. But what also isn't included is all the money I pay out on Patreon to drone pilots and whatnot and other producers historically. And I don't think there is a single drone pilot whose footage I've used that I haven't given money to. And there are drone pilots I've given money to whose footage I haven't used just because I want to support them, because they're doing valuable work and I believe in them. So, the problem isn't, it used to be that if you made good content, that was enough. But the algorithm doesn't take that into account. They don't look at quality. They look at it like a bot would, which makes it very difficult and frustrating. So what I'm saying is, subscribers are more valuable to me than dollars. Make no mistake, I'm a fan of both. But what I really need is subscribers. You get enough subscribers, the rest follows. So there are some upcoming catalysts. Yes, I'm going to be at an event next month. Fully Charged. Fully Charged? They've got 918,000 subscribers, something like that. It's a very big, very serious channel. And Jeff, who's here, had asked me, he said, "Are you going? You should reach out and see if they want you to speak." And I did, and they said, "Yes, please. We want you to host a panel." So I am hosting a panel along with Dr. Know-It-All and Best in Tesla, Lars. So Lars, Dr. Know-It-All, and me hosting a panel at Fully Charged. And then they asked us if we could move to Sunday because they said, we already have a Tesla panel Saturday, and also would you like to join it? So I'll be doing 2 speaking events there, which is super, super cool. And then later in September, I'm going to be in Vancouver, BC at Evolution 22, where I will be also hosting a panel with some really cool folks. Lars will be there for that too. Bear's Workshop will be there for that too. Tesla Herbert will be there. Yashu from Hit That Bid. And Nikki from Transport Evolved will be there. I believe her whole crew's coming. She's great. She's one of the early channels in the EV space, and her whole team does just fantastic work. I've only met them once in person, but they're really, really great people. And I am almost definitely going to Florida TeslaCon, and I may also be able to be there in some official capacity, but it's not known yet. They're considering expanding it, but it's only 350 people total for guests. So if you want to see me, this one would be a trickier one to get into. Fully Charged. Tickets are still on sale. Coupon code MTW at checkout for 15% off. And the BCIT event is free. September 25th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is huge. It's going to be so amazing. So that is kind of it, isn't it? Or is it? There's one more catalyst coming up. And when I'm talking about catalysts, I'm saying these are things that could take the channel to the next level. They could get my name out there. Because when people say on social media, who's your go-to for Tesla stuff? On Twitter, my name is finally on the list. I finally have reached critical mass on Twitter where often, not always, not even half the time, my name makes the list. But on other social media, it just doesn't. I get nothing from Facebook. On Reddit, the old guard is the only ones regarded. Me and anyone newer than me really don't get much traction. And I started the channel at a bad time. It was during the run-up, a lot of channels were starting, and almost none of them have survived. The only channels newer than mine that have succeeded, Tesla Economist might be newer than mine or about the same age, and he's done very well, is Farzad. But I'm no Farzad. He's got a great story. He's got a great history. He's got inside information. He looks fantastic. He sounds fantastic, and he's charismatic. I got like one of those going for me. Can you guess which one? It's this one. No, it's the charisma. I got the charisma. Let's be honest. So the other upcoming catalyst is, and I don't want to jinx it, but there is a non-zero chance that I will be helping a company start a Turo fleet of Teslas and other EVs. And if that's the case, I would have regular access to a Model Y for my own use. That would be middle of next year. So that would be something. That would be a big catalyst. And we're going to get into the Q&A. And this video is not of a set length. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be anything because it's a bonus. It's the 500th episode extravaganza. So, of course, I do have to thank my Patreons who get early access, bonus content, and all that. I was asked the other day, are we going to do a Discord channel? We've got 142 of you on there. I think it's big enough we could do a Discord channel. If that's something that interests you, let me know. It has been suggested to me also by someone else that I may need to update my pricing tiers. Because a lot of channels don't even have a $1 tier. And, inflation. But I'm hesitant to do that because, again, you get a big channel, the money follows. You do good work, you get a good following, the money follows. And I have more runway. And if I start running out of runway, then I think it would be appropriate for me to start leaning on you guys. But right now, I don't think that's appropriate. I'm not going to act like I'm broke when I'm not. I mean, I'm definitely broke, but that's been my whole life. I mean, I was raised frugal. So even when I have money, I don't like to spend it. Yeah. So let's do some Q&A. Why not? Quick thanks on the Super Chats. LG got one in yesterday when I first posted this. Thank you, LG, if you're watching. Who is this? Let's just make this big. Let's go big. Let's go big and then go home. In that order. Who is this? $5 for 500. We are the 1%. John says, hit the like button. I agree. Let's do that. Does it include my OnlyFans channel? I still don't have one of those. Ben said 455. Maybe that was a guess or something. Shh, we don't talk about that channel here. Which channel don't we talk about? Digital Blade Canada. That's how I found your channel, through Dylan. Dylan has been such a guy. He has been so amazing to me. He has helped me understand a lot of the inner workings of things that most content creators are unwilling to talk about. Most people don't talk about money. The first one I saw who would do it was Stephen Mark Ryan. And I think he did it because $500,000 a year and growing ain't nothing to sneeze at. There are a lot of other channels where I would love to see what their revenue is, but I can understand why they would be hesitant to share it. LG, hey, you're here. Tickle that like button. Feed the algorithm. Party on, revelers. Thank you, Jeff. And Jeff said, glad to see it. Yeah, thank you, Jeff, for that suggestion. Wendelin, I'm glad you're here. So good to see you. Yeah, and Wendelin, you were here before I made it big. You've been here a long time. Greenpad, do longer videos work out to pay more? Yes, there are more ad breaks. They can pay more. But I don't. A lot of channels really like to hit that exactly 10-minute mark, and I think that's silly. I think it's crooked. You're gaming the system. You're shortchanging your viewers to gain for yourself, and I think that's stupid. It is. I'd rather make a video as long as it needs to be. So you've seen this week I've had 5-minute videos, 6-minute videos, 30-minute videos. I would really rather focus on quality. I did see a comment recently on another channel where someone said, this is ridiculous. I pay for premium so I don't see ads. And then there's ads in the middle of the videos. I don't like this. I don't like it either. But YouTube, 2 million views and I'm making half of minimum wage. I would make twice as much money if I worked at anywhere. If I took a job anywhere. if I went to Party City or Spirit Halloween or Walmart or McDonald's or anywhere, I would double my income. But I would hate my life and my job, and I love doing this. And I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Mark says, congratulations. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, clickbaity fake videos about Tesla Pi phone get tons more attention. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I did have a guy on a video, one of the Tesla Boomer Mama interview videos, who said, because the headline, the title was something like Tesla's credit is bad, or I don't remember. And he said, I'm giving it the thumbs down because you're enhancing the FUD. Change the title. So interestingly, I did change the title. That was the second title. When I put up the first thumbnail, it ranked number 9 out of my last 10 videos. So I changed the thumbnail to that, and it jumped to number 5 out of my last 10 videos. That's not clickbait. That's still honest. And I get that you don't like it, but you clicked on it. And you didn't click on it before I changed it. So I have to do that to some extent. I won't go all the way into fake stuff, but guys, and when I say guys, I mean YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm includes a shovel full of bias. Yeah. How ominous. I don't know. What did I say? Yeah. Greenpad says, me and Lars make a good team. I enjoy his channel. I enjoy his content. I liked him before he made my channel blow up quite a bit. Yeah, it'd be so cool. And I'm looking forward to the 2 panels I'll be hosting with him. Can you cover the Aptera at Fully Charged? That would give you some subscribers from the Aptera portion of YouTube viewers. I hope to, on Friday during load-in, because I have a booth. I will have a booth. Jeff will be staffing the booth. I hope to spend the Friday going around to the booths and making the connections needed to have months of amazing interviews and some resources. Digital Blake Hanna says, James Stevenson gave your Twitter a shout out on Herbert's channel today. Sweet. I will check that out. James and Herbert are both, when I edited their interviews down, those were 2 of my favorite ones to listen to for 3 hours. It was them, those 2, and Alexandra were just the most fun interviews to go back over in the edit. And who is this? Says, Brian, yeah, you've got the look, you've got the charisma, but don't forget the hair. Yeah, I got a little trim today. Lily May. Hello, Lily May. Glad you made it. Glad you got the stash. You also got big math skills. Yes, but I don't get recognized for that. Herbert, on his Twitter Hangout space, mentioned that my production estimates are consistently among the best and frequently the best. On the last quarter, everyone was saying, nope, you weren't close. There were 2 people closer than you. One was Sawyer. And no, I estimate production, he estimates deliveries. I was closer on production, and he was closer on deliveries. And some people were saying that Stephen Mark Ryan was within 65 cars, but he wasn't. He posts a range, and the number of production was outside of his range. So if you want me to post a range and call anything inside or outside of it a hit, cool. JJ, hello. Good to see you. Should Tesla buy Uber or Lyft to power the robotaxi network? No. And I've been meaning to make a video about Uber since January when I used them extensively on a trip. Uber is dying. And I hope to make a video on why, but they are terrible. They're a terrible company with terrible practices and remarkably terrible revenue for how inherently greedy and evil they are. They should be the Kleenex of the industry, and they're not. And it's because their execution is desperately lacking. Does it help if you click on the ads every once in a while? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. And you don't need to do that. A penny here and there isn't going to make a difference. And for that matter, if you want to use an ad blocker, use an ad blocker. Doesn't bother me at all. I use an ad blocker on this account, but I do have a YouTube Premium account that I use for the TV inside. I just didn't want to use it on this one because then my kids' suggestions would ruin my feed. When's the Dylan interview? I've asked Dylan about interviews in the past. He doesn't do interviews on his channel, and when I asked him to do an interview on my channel, he wasn't interested. I asked him I had some financial questions. I sent him over the questions, and he liked them, but did not come on the channel. So instead, I interviewed Matt Smith, which I thought was really great. Matt Smith is a great resource, but I'd love to interview Dylan. I think he's a great guy. I did invite him to my panel in San Diego, but he is unavailable that weekend. So Jeff will be such a booth babe. You know it. I'm not sure who John is at this point. Do you mean, so John is Dr. Know-It-All, if that's the John you mean? Robo-taxis, Uber all. Will those in-person events be available on YouTube after? I know that the one at BCIT, Evolution 22, will be. I do not believe there is any plan for them to televise or to make available the fully charged events. But on mine, if that's the case, I will record it. I will ask permission, of course, but I can't imagine why they wouldn't let me record it. So we shall see. DK, you're the only number cruncher I watch. I'm really good at it, man. I'm really good. I put, Mark, good night, Mark. I put a lot of work into the crunching, and I'm not afraid to learn from my mistakes. Karma is coming for Uber. Yeah, well, I don't even think it's karma. I think karma would be doing bad and having bad things happen to you. This is just not executing. They are not executing. The example, I'll just give it right now, is if you fly into Santo Domingo, you can't get an Uber from the airport unless you wish to pay about $100 cash. It might have been $80 cash, and only, yeah. And because you request an Uber, they all sit in one little lot near the airport, and they will not pick you up. They say, off platform, give me US dollar. And I'm like, I don't have cash on me. I don't travel with cash. That's why I'm using Uber. And that also happens in all the tourist hotspots. If you go down to the little tourist beach, like Playa Bonita, I think it was, or somewhere like that, you can't get an Uber. They will all sit in the same area. We were trying to get an Uber and trying, and they kept saying, nope, 50, $80, $100, $50. And one guy even said, buddy, we're all sitting here together. You ain't going to get a ride. And we're complaining about it. And the bartender goes, do you want me to call my brother? I'll call my brother. He lives like a mile from. Do you want him to drive you? So he drove us in for like $20. Some dude just pulled up and drove us back to our hotel. So dumb. How does Uber not notice that? How do they not see that there are all these requests for rides and no pickups? What you're doing is you're losing money because you're Uber and you're not getting a cut, and you're also giving a terrible customer experience. A breathtakingly bad customer experience. But forget the customer experience. Uber is really good at bad customer experiences. They're not making money in the most profitable places. I almost couldn't get to the hotel because when I tried to go back to the airport, I had the same problem. And I went through 3 drivers before I finally found one who didn't message me and say, where are you going, bud? Where are you going? To try and overcharge me. And I gave him the last of my Dominican money. So he got a massive tip. Still less than what they were trying to charge me. Anyway. Marcus, I don't use ads. I don't use ad blockers, but I usually mute and jump the ads. LOL. What was the big news today? What? I'm not sure. I don't know. What was the big news today? I'm not sure, JJ. That's funny. I like JJ's unofficial wrench, LOL. Yeah, he's an honorary moderator. That's fun. John is Dr. Know-It-All, yes. I hope that John's wife, Misinformation, is there also. She's great. I don't believe she will be. Rob says, hope you're well. I am well. I'm in a pretty good mood. Got to visit some family this weekend. That was nice. If you go to Union Station here, old school taxis are fixed rates, $40 to go a few blocks, and refuse to turn on the meter. I pulled up Uber and told the number to my friends. Taxi was just pay me in cash. I've heard stories of this exact scenario with Uber playing out in a lot of touristy locations around the world. You can't do that. Now, once I was in town, for the first week, I was not staying. Anyone else here frozen with no updates? Jeff, there's no chat updates? I was staying in an Airbnb that was not in a tourist area. And every time I summoned an Uber, no problems. No problems. And I would tip them generously because it's quite affordable. The airport guys would say, we're not getting paid enough. If you're not getting paid enough, tell Uber and they'll up the rate. Or just don't pick up from the airport and they'll do something. They'll do something. But they don't manage it. And then when I would drive other places, they were perfectly fine with the fare. No problems. They were just trying to get a little bit more money. Oh, JJ asked what the big catalysts were since he came late. They are 3 possible speaking events over the next, between now and October 11th. And I may have access to a Tesla, a free car, if you will. Obviously, it wouldn't be mine, but I would have access to it. I'm not reading that, JJ. Yeah, Digital Blade Canada. Brian's channel to the moon soon. We are all hoping. The good news is, like I said, I have some runway. I can make it. And when I say some runway, again, I've got, no video for Jeff. Other people's videos are probably working. If somebody else in the chat, tell me if your video is working. I'll just tell you the other news. We're at 30-ish minutes. 45 viewers. We're all friends here. My childhood home is about to be sold. And when it does, I should get some percentage of it. And if that happens, that takes off all the pressure. That takes all of the pressure off. So we'll see how it goes. It looks like it looks like it's happening. My stepdad has, without telling any of us, begun emptying the house, and I mean emptying. So Frank says, I'm one of the most objective and accurate channels here. I think it's more that you came online after so many channels are out there. Trust me, you'll get there. Omar from Whole Mars Catalog, I was sharing my frustrations with him in direct message at one time, and he said, don't worry, buddy, you will absolutely make it. I guarantee it. Everybody does. And I said, you're dealing with survivorship bias, my friend. You only hear from people that made it. There were a lot of channels that made really great Tesla content that just disappeared because they didn't get traction. And some of them even did get traction. There was one in China, Tesla T-Study. His videos were pretty good and very well received because he did the kind of stuff I do, but from the ground in China. And he just couldn't make it, I guess, which is unfortunate. What I loved is he would sometimes borrow some information from me and get called out on it in the comments and then purge those comments. So it doesn't bother me. We all get information from each other. If we were all expected to do 100% original research, we would have a hard time. Any other questions before we go? I've still got my terrible Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Spark. This might be a different one. I think last time I had Flamin' Hot Dorito, which was just terrible. It tastes like Mountain Dew with a throat burn. Looking forward to Brian's analysis and numbers once robo-taxis start driving out of the factory. It's interesting. I think we're going to look back in 10 years and think we cared about cars. We cared about production. Hey, Jeff's back. We cared about all that stuff. Why? Why did we care? It's an energy company now. It's an autonomy company now. It's a bot company now. The world is changing in ways I can't predict. Yeah, zero sugars are a mixed bag. But, yeah. Serious question. Have you considered hosting a radio show? You got the voice and charisma. Not saying you don't have the looks, but better than Party City gig. I haven't. It's a small industry. I don't know if there's opportunity. It has been mentioned before. Probably pays less. What does? Radio? Well, it can't pay less than minimum wage. And in my state, it's close to 15, which would be... Rob says, Elon said an age of abundance. Yeah, but we've heard that before. I believe there will be an abundance for shareholders. So, radio is dead, mostly. Yeah, we've got some radio guys in here, I'm confident. All right, any last words before we sign off and sign out? Traditional radio is a dying industry, but until those 100 million cars are replaced, radio will survive. Nobody listens to radio at home, I bet. Not many. But in the car, a lot of us still do. Yeah, went corporate when Jeff was in it. Yeah. So, again, thank you guys. 500 videos. I think we have made it. I think we are over the hump, which would be fantastic if true. So, yeah. Tony Siva speaks of the power abundance. Yeah, but we've been hearing about that since the dawn of the nuclear age. We'll see. We'll see. We need a lot of power growth in capacity over the next 10 to 15 years. In the end, you're in entertainment. Like a band, you have to stay the course. Unless you get very lucky, you spend years to become an overnight success. That's right. It's easy to become an overnight success. All you have to do is prepare for your whole life and then get the right opportunity of good fortune and preparation. Easy. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it in the comments. All that good stuff. And yeah. My parents listen to AM Talk Radio at home. They're 80. Yeah. AM Talk Radio. Yeah. Thank you, David, for the congratulations. And everybody, thanks for hanging out. And I will talk to you soon.